All right, friend, welcome back. Hopefully, you've been out building a life that you are bonkers about, which is exactly why you should be here, right? Today, we are going to talk directly to the Sarah in my world, okay? Now, I don't mean literally Sarah. Sarah is my bored, burned out, I wish I could have quit my dental hygiene job yesterday. Okay. So if Sarah resonates on your heart, my friend, you're going to want to pull up a chair because this is my zone of genius. So let's get to it. So, first, confession time. Years ago, since I've been doing this about a decade, it was many years ago before I really knew a lot about myofunctional therapy, especially the opportunities. I sat in my car one day after a 10-hour shift, had to eat lunch in my car at 4 p.m. because we were so behind all day. And I Googled, can dental hygienists work from home? Okay. Yeah. You might have done that to yourself. Here's the thing. A whole lot of options came up and also a whole lot of job boards lied to me. Insurance claim review, teledentistry audits. I could be an online instructor. I could be a sales rep. I could review dental records. Okay. Everything that I read, it promised freedom and flexibility, and almost none of it was what it sounded like. So today, we're going to talk through those options. I've done some research. I'm going to tell you kind of what's real, what's not, what's actually a unicorn job that barely exists, right? And then we're going to talk naturally about the fifth option, my friend, the one that Google might not serve up to you. Okay. This one might be the door that you have been looking for. So, what I want to start with is I want you to know when you're Googling remote, okay? Remote dental hygiene jobs. Remote, my friend, is not the same as being free, okay? Burn that into your brain. I want you to sit with it. We're going to come back to it. So, here is a little bit of my story, and we may or may not have gotten to all of the details, but I'm sure if you've been with me for any amount of time, you have some of this down. So years ago, before I had really gotten into Myo, I was Googling. Okay. I learned about Myo. Let me back up. I learned about Myo first thing, like right out of hygiene school. Probably didn't even have my license then. And I think it was like maybe under one roof, RDH or something like that. So I had learned about Myo, but I knew I just had this little teeny tiny bit of knowledge. Okay. So I was always Googling. Okay. I would have a bazillion tabs open on my laptop so that I could see what were other things that dental hygienists could do. When it got to the point where I was having heart palpitations on the way to work, my boss had, over the course of 12 months had moved me from dream superstar, doing everything all the time for everybody type of hygienist into being the cancer of the office. And she had nothing nice to say about me. So I went from that. I experienced a change in the dental production goals. So I missed a bonus by $17. Yes, $17. Story for another day. I got nothing. Okay. So I was done. I started looking at all of these dental hygiene job boards. I started applying. I did everything. I mean, I was desperate. Okay. I was ready to do something different. Okay. Now, the thing is like one of the jobs that I applied to, the recruiter came back to me and it was supposed to be a remote teledentistry hygienist type of position. The recruiter came back to me and said, you need to work 4 days a week in a nursing home with a portable cart, doing assessments, connected to a dentist somewhere in their main office, and get paid less, and use my own gas. Doesn't sound like remote to me, right? But it was remote, right? So that was the day that I realized that the job boards were also not necessarily the best place for me to find the way to build a life that I'm bonkers about. So, if you're that person who's researching, let's go through some of those. And then I want to talk to you about the best option, okay? You probably know what it is. But if you are Sarah, if you're that bored, burned out dental hygienist, my friend, you need to be paying attention. Pull your chair up, turn the volume up, okay? So first, let's talk about five options for 5 remote options, okay? In my research, these were remote options for dental hygienists, okay? So let's go through these together. So option number 1, teledentistry hygienist. This, you're thinking that you get to sit home in your pajamas doing video calls with patients all day, coaching them through the importance of flossing, right? Absolutely not what it is. Because you and I both know that there's rules about supervision and working under a dentist or all of that stuff, okay? But the thing is, you in your skills, there's probably not a lot that you can do that is definitely teledentistry, okay? So the truth bomb there is that really does not exist. It's mostly a unicorn, okay? The job boards make it sound like one thing. It's definitely not, okay? My friend, you are not going to probe teeth via teledentistry, okay? All right, number 2, and this is one thing that I found when I was searching, is insurance claims review. So you assume that it is going to be sitting at home, going through these reviews at your own pace, finally getting to do something using your brain and not your hands, right? Wrong. What this job actually is a W-2 desk job at an insurance company, often requiring a bachelor's degree. It pays meaningfully less than dental hygiene. You have a boss, you have a manager, you have quotas. Your clinical brain goes unused for the most part. It's the same 40-hour work week. It's just at a desk instead of an operatory chair, okay? Who it's good for? A hygienist whose body is broken down, okay? And somebody who just needs to stop scaling teeth and who is willing to take a pay cut to do it. Not this girl. All right, option number 3, online dental hygiene instructor. So what you assume that it is that you're going to teach dental hygiene students from your couch, set your own schedule, make great money, sharing what you know and love and you're passionate about, right? Here's what it actually is. So usually it requires a bachelor's or a master's. Adjunct pay is typically $2,500 to $4,500 per course. There's limited spots. It's highly competitive. You have to teach on the student schedule, okay, not yours. Most programs also require some sort of on-campus clinical hours. It just depends. So who is it good for? A dental hygienist who has advanced education, so has an advanced degree, or maybe even just has a bachelor's degree, who genuinely loves teaching and very often has some other source of income, okay? Also wasn't going to be an option for me. Option number 4, dental product sales rep. Exactly what you think it is. Travel a little. No, let me back up. Here's what you think it is, that you're going to travel a little, sell to dental practices, no more chairside, finally a real fun professional job. That's what you think it's going to be. That's what I thought it was going to be. What it actually is, quotas, 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 right? Heavy regional travel, base plus commission, meaning your income is going to be variable and often capped by territory. Okay, you're going to have a sales manager. You're going to have sales metrics. You're a salesperson now, not a clinician. Okay, no thank you to that. If there was one thing I wasn't, that was a salesperson. So that's why I went to dental hygiene school. Right? So I wasn't going to be a good salesperson. In this situation, remote usually means that you don't have an office to report to, but you're not free. You are not free, okay? Who it's good for? The dental hygienist who truly loves sales and does not mind trading your operatory for a car and a quota. Again, not for this girl. Let me say something so far, you guys, these 4 examples I have given you, I want this to land with you. Remote is not the same as free. It totally is not, okay? Every single one of those 4 options gives you a different cage. That's it. It just gives you a different cage, a different boss, a different ceiling. None of them gives you anything that you actually want, which from what I have learned about you guys, you want to own your time. You want to own your income. You want to own your life. You want to work less, earn more, be in total control of your calendar, set your own schedule, I guess, for that, not have to put in time requests for vacation or time off or the holidays, that kind of stuff. Many of you guys want to be able to work from anywhere, yes, but I think more importantly, you guys want your life. That life that you're bonkers about, that I talk about, it used to be just financial for me. Now it's the freedom part of it, that I don't have to report to a boss. I don't have to set an alarm. I don't have to get out of my sneakers and yoga pants or running shorts, But more important for most of you guys, and I feel this, I know you feel this because I get your emails and your DMs, you want to be a better you, whether that's a less stressed, more present mama, you want to be a more exceptional partner, wife, sister, daughter, employee. Like, you want to quit being so stressed. You want to quit burning the candle at both ends. I know what you want. And freedom, the freedom, we all define it differently, but being free is not the same as being remote. Okay, let me tell you about the 5th option. What do you think it is? Right? Build your own remote myofunctional therapy practice. So, what is it? You train in myofunctional therapy. You see clients via Zoom or whatever platform you want. You set your own prices, you set your own hours, you set your own ceiling. So many of you guys are out there Googling, how much can a myofunctional therapist make? There is no mayor of Myotown. There is no ceiling. I'm sure there's people out there who never thought that they could earn what they're earning. I never thought I could earn 6 figures my first year and multiple 6 figures every year after that to come into a multi-million-dollar business. Never did I think that was a possibility. And look at here, I'm sharing that with you. So that's what it is. I think it's starting to be out there a little bit more, but you guys, people like ZipRecruiter, they're not advertising for entrepreneurship. They're not advertising for you. The algorithm is not your friend here when you're doing your search, although I do know that myofunctional therapy is starting to come up. This is a great option for you. And if you're still with me, I know that you're leaning in. I know you're interested. I know you're excited about it. So this is where you leverage your license to change your life. Okay. Real income potential. Nobody's capping what you're getting paid. Okay. Real freedom. Real freedom. I can work anywhere. I set my hours. I can make any amount of money that I want. What else? Just the freedom. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So who is it good for? It is good for the hygienist who's done asking for permission, who's tired of income ceilings, who's tired of being unappreciated, who's tired of hurting, whose body wants something else, okay? They don't want to start over. I can't really think of a great hygienist who it's not a great option for, okay? I suppose maybe the person who doesn't actually just want to get out of being uncomfortable. Like, I have worked with some hygienists and I'm pretty sure they're going to retire being miserable, crusty old hygienists because they're too lazy to go do anything else, really. All right, so let's do a little bit of math. So insurance claims representative remote job, okay? Typically averages 25 to 32 an hour. Well, first of all, as a hygienist, I would be like, yeah, no, thank you, okay? It's a W-2 job. It's making way less than a hygienist. Your income is capped. There's no room to grow without a promotion that somebody else has to give to you. Okay. So in that situation, or in any situation with a job, if the toes you're going to step on are attached to a butt you have to kiss, no, thank you. Like, I want to be free. So as far as myofunctional therapy, now I don't know how everybody sets their hours. However, I just did an episode talking about a business coaching client of mine who just had a $12,000 month. You guys, those are normal. My business needs to earn $11,000 to $15,000 a month just to keep beanie weenies on the table. Okay. But earning six figures, multiple six figures, whatever, you get to set those prices. You get to set how many clients that is, how many days a week you see clients. I have many months that are 12,000 and over. Okay. From my home in my sneakers, my dog's laying right here on the floor. I love it. It is freedom. Now, I'm not promising you pie in the sky, and I just want to say that here just to cover my butt and also not let you think that this is a build it and people will come. You have to build your business correctly. Okay. And many of you out there who are trained in listening to this, that's where you're struggling. That's a conversation for a whole nother day. But what I want to say about the math here is it maths. Okay. And regardless of what kind of investment you make, you're getting skills that you can use for the rest of your life. All right. So if this is hitting you like right here, like in the gut, and you know I'm talking to you, what's your first step? Okay. You can't do this until you are trained. So you have to get that clinical foundation. So the best place for you to start, there's other options out there. I'm going to tell you about my option, learn myofunctional therapy in 60 days or less. That's the clinical foundation. It gets you trained. It gets you credentialed. It gets you ready to start. Okay. I'm not helping you build a hobby. I'm helping you build something that is for the rest of your life. And this entry point is very important because you've got to get the training so that you have that to be able to build the business. Now, my own situation, when I took my myofunctional therapy training, I was earning revenue 12 weeks after my course, like I took my course. So it's doable, but you have to do the work. So that's why I caution you. So here's what I want you to think about. What would it feel like? Think about a day in the future, maybe 61 days in the future. Or if you want to give yourself a little bit of extra time, 90 days. Okay. The reason it's 60 days is because I don't want your 60 days to be 6 months or a year long. For me to help you build that online business, we got to get that first client. We got to build your prototype. So that's why that the LMT 60 is short. Okay. So think about 60, 61 days, 70 days from now in the future. You wake up on a Tuesday, you don't put on your scrubs, you don't drive 35 minutes to work, to a boss who doesn't appreciate you, right? You grab a cup of coffee, you go into your office or log into Zoom from your computer. Your first client of the morning is a mom of a 7-year-old kiddo who is not sleeping well and is having behavior issues at school. And guess what? You know exactly how to help her. Okay. That's the most rewarding work right there. So it's not a fantasy. It is what can happen for a myofunctional therapist. And that might be you. Okay. So that's where your starting point. If you need to learn, that's your starting point. Learn myofunctional therapy in 60 days or less. So that's the clinical foundation that's going to help you leverage your dental hygiene license into being able to build an online business. So wherever you're watching this, I will have a link for you. There's a discount code. You can get $100 off your enrollment. Now, if your brain just whispered to you that I don't even know if I can actually do this or pull this off, this, my friend, that's fear. Okay. And it is exactly what kept me in dental hygiene for years too long. Years and years and years. Okay. Don't listen to it. Do not listen to it. Your brain is there to keep you safe. And because you're already doing something that you know, it's familiar. It's like, no, you just go over there. You just be miserable and suffer for the rest of your life. If you know, you know, right? My biggest regret in this industry is that I didn't do it sooner because I was a fraidy cat and because I let other people's opinions tell me what I could and couldn't do, namely my husband, namely my dad. Okay. So that's your first step is the clinical training. If you are already trained, then that's a different conversation. You can grab the from trained to booked checklist. That's going to tell you kind of every step that it's going to take to build your business, because LMT 60 isn't where I leave you, my friend. You start there. It sets you up to come into my business training, which is the Profitable Myofunctional Therapist. If you want to hear about the success of that program, I want you to go listen to episode 72. I just talked about one of my students. But that's how it is set up, okay? Clinical only, because your brain can only handle so much. I don't want you drinking from a fire hose. You're going to start with your clinical. You're going to follow me into the Profitable Myofunctional Therapist, and I'm going to take you step by step, all the business things, all the CEO skills that you need. Does your website have SEO on it, okay? Do you know how to train and adequately use AI to build your business? What are your financial skills? Marketing, all of those CEO skills that you're not getting in any other training, okay? A training that's teaching you about tongue ties is also not going to be telling you how to set up your Google Analytics and how to evaluate that data. But your girl here does, because she's already done it, and that's what you'll do between the two different programs. So don't get it convoluted, clinical first. That's just where you start, okay? But if you're already trained, you can grab that checklist. If you are just wondering what this is going to look like for you in starting your business, you can also grab that checklist, and it's going to show you what's going to come after your clinical training so that you can kind of see the whole roadmap, not just the first step, okay? Friend, at the top of this episode, I told you about the fifth option, right? You knew it was going to be myofunctional therapy, right? Duh, you're listening to a podcast called The Profitable Myofunctional Therapist. Remote is not the same as free. Remember that. Those job listings, those other opportunities, like I said, they are just a different cage with a different boss. The only option that gives your body a break and gives you the freedom and the ability to work less, earn more, be in total control of your calendar, have the geographic freedom to work from anywhere, right? And more so to build a life you are bonkers about. With me, our focus is building a life first business. I want to help you build your business around your life so you can be that incredible mom. You can be that Psalms 31 woman. You can be that exceptional partner to your spouse, less stress, take care of yourself, all of those things. That is the ultimate freedom, okay? Nobody is going to sell you harder on becoming your own boss than I am, because it has absolutely changed the course of my life, the revenue in my bank account, the retirement that I have built, but it's more so just the time freedom and being able to be here from home with my pups, okay? So here's your homework. Okay, stop thinking about all of that other stuff. Where you're watching this or listening to it, click the link, open the tab, check out LMT 60, read what you're going to do in the program. Know that I have you covered on the other side of that program with business. And that's it, my friend. That is it. I want you to go take those steps so that you can get started on this whole building a life you're bonkers about. I'm going to be back soon. We're going to talk more about starting, growing, and simplifying your myofunctional therapy business. And until I'm back, my friend, I want you to go do your homework. I'll see you soon.